What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and they have done it. It's here, 9.3. The Hurricane is in the game, 1,100 meters range with homing missiles. The thing that completely broke the test server last time we tested it. It arrived with a 9.3 update here in War Robots, and yeah, how bad is it? The new Quicksand Ophion skin, by the way, looks amazing. Yeah, so the new Hurricane on the Ophion as well as on a Typhon and an Ares and even a Mars. Let's find out how game-breaking this is. Or maybe it isn't game-breaking, let's see. Because on the test server it clearly was. For those of you who remember, we were able to just obliterate enemy through the entire map without needing to see them. And even in short range, as you can see, you have direct fire with the weapon as well. When you are within 400 meters range, the weapon will direct fire with homing missiles, and after that you'll fire high up. Now you'll see over there is I think it's an Erebus that's firing at us, and next to the Erebus is a Reaper Crisis. And both of them are running Reaper. So very dangerous, very powerful setups, and I'm using the Ophion here to spread my happiness over to them. And yeah, it arrives. I think I'm reaching them with all my sweet happiness that they get over there. Yeah, so there goes the Cerebus. Nope. He has the reviver drone, so let's fire one more salvo. And you see the guy can't hide. The rockets are coming in from such a high angle. There's nothing he can do about it. And whoop! There you go. That was a Reaper Erebus. And this is a Reaper Crisis he just fired. So let's spread some more happiness. Oh, you see the smileys on his face. Yeah, that was his last stand, by the way. Now we're gonna start to fly with the really short cooldown of the Ophion robot. I'm eyeballing the Crisis the whole time, waiting for him to open fire. I'm not firing at something else, because I'm not running Quantum Radar, so I can only fire when he opens fire himself. This has happened right there, and boots, there goes the Reaper Crisis. Now, is this completely broken and overpowered? I guess you could argue that with Volt or something flying from high up, Weber, I could probably have done the same, maybe, if he had open fire and I could just ready for him and to snipe him. However, the thing is, with this weapon you don't need line of sight, and you have 1,100 meters range. There are, however, also a lot of differences to the test server version that was really game-breaking, much more so than it is now. This weapon would almost hit you perfectly even if you move. Like, if you were running, even when you're running fast, the weapon would mostly hit you still really well. And if I remember correctly, now it looks like if you're running sideways from left to right, considering where the shots are coming from the perspective of the shooter, basically, yeah? Then when you're running at max speed, there's a good chance you don't get hit. Maybe if you're running a slower robot, you will, but there's a chance you don't get hit when you're running a medium-speeded robot and just walk from left to right. And also, the damage output seems to have been nerfed, because I remember we were almost one-shotting Spectres. That would not happen now, I think. And other robots even. So I think damage output wise, they have nerfed it a little bit. And yeah, so I think it's not as bad on the test server. The question is still though, is it a good thing that you can fire this like 1,100 meters far and you don't need line of sight? I guess in ages where Reapers can literally one-tap you, even at the same range, okay, they need line of sight, but no matter what defense system you're running, these things are just gonna do it. Well, compared to Reapers, it's okay. But should we use Reapers as something to justify other weapon systems? No. Reapers are absolutely breaking the game right now, and they have even received a new skin. The Retro Reaper with the Retro Crisis together, making them even more powerful. There's going to be a video coming up for this, so stay tuned. Generally, stay tuned. If you like the content, ladies and gents, you haven't yet subscribed, consider doing that. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, so if we take Reaper in comparison, then everything seems to be fine and okay, because this weapon simply ruins War Robots completely. It's really that reason why people leave. It's Reaper. It's just this broken, yeah? The same thing goes for the Rogue Titan. These two things are single-handedly destroying our War Robots game. And yeah, we can't use these two examples to justify robots or Titans or or weapons, because by their comparison, everything is okay, you know? But if you compare it to other weapons, I think it looks different, because they usually need line of sight, they usually don't one-hit kill you, and they also don't bypass all your resistances. Now, one thing I tested is I can't deal damage to a Rook Titan, for example, with the Hurricane. I believe on the test server I was able to do that. I believe, if I remember correctly, that you could fire at the Rook and you would do damage to him even with his shields up. There is no explosive expert pilot skill, I checked, so you can't give these weapons more explosive damage, which probably also means the weapons don't have explosive explosive damage, or not, they have explosive damage, but they don't have splash damage. It probably means there's no splash damage on the weapon, which means I can't bypass the physical shields on the Rook. So against Rooks, you can fire for all day long, you'll never score a hit, unless your rockets come in from such a high angle that you basically hit them over their shields, but that's not often the case. So yeah, let me give you a little sneak peek of the next video as well, or one of the next, the Newton Titan, brand new, and I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong about it. I was really wrong about this thing, and this you'll find this in the next upcoming video. This is just a tiny sneak peek to end the video, because I was doing this after I played the Ophion, or the Slipsand, no, what was it? Quicksand Ophion here. Pop! There goes the Titan. See that? That was a luchador for 50% health or whatever. And here, one shot at the Rook, and he loses like 50% as well. Just a sneak peek. That will be a full video with that. Stay tuned for that as well. I have already recorded the video, but I'm starting to show you the Hurricane video first. Now, this right there is... yeah, it's a Nether. There are some robots you don't even need to try to shoot at with the Hurricane. One of them really being the Nether. Like, you can shoot him, of course, but chances are he has so many dashes left, and before the rockets come in, he's just gonna dash away. And that's when your missiles will definitely miss the target. Again, no explosive expert skill, no splash damage, so even if you hit right next to him, you probably still don't hit, because you need to hit him. And so dashing robots, very quick robots, stealth robots, they're gonna be very annoying. However, we're shooting a behemoth over there, and he's really in trouble. Apparently he can't shoot me back, or I don't know, he's not doing it in any case. And my rockets are just having some fun with him there. Man, they're just having a good time, spreading happiness. At 1,100 meters, my happiness reaches far today. Yeah, and that's now he's out of 1,100 meters range. I have to actually walk forward to get back in range, and I think now he's hiding behind cover now that he's lost like 60% health. It's sick how far you can shoot with this, but in all honesty, there aren't even that many maps where you can fire this far, and even if you can fire this far, after the first salvo there's a good chance the enemy will be aware of it and will have taken some precautions not to get shot again, so staying behind cover like Feldmarschall does over there, or he's he's just using his phase shift the next time. This is something that crisis robots do a lot. What I'm doing here a lot is I'm trying to counter Crisis Reaper setups, right? I think this is maybe my job. I can do that very well. I just need them to open fire, and then I can fire back. If you run Quantum Radar, you can fire them much more often, of course. Much more reliable. Now, I was doing it here without Quantum Radar, and you'll see that there's a few situations where we shoot Crisis Reapers, but they tend to have phase shift. It's also how I'm running my Crisis Reapers if I use that, because they kind of need that. Because if another Crisis Reaper shoots you, with Quantum Radar for example, even if you're in stealth, they will one-hit kill you. The only protection you have would be to run phase shift. And there is the first Crisis Reaper coming in down there. He's stealthed right now, under Feldmarschall's name. Let's first take care of Feldmarschall, and then, oh, you see I'm already getting hit by the creeper, by the Reaper Creeper. So I'm just gonna get rid of the Behemoth first. Woo! I love this song, man. Yeah, and that's it. The Feldmarschall is gone. He doesn't know it yet, but now it is the case, and that's crazy. So now my target has swapped to the Reaper Creeper, and he's looking at me. He apparently wants me, so I'm giving him a little bit of myself to see, and then he opens fire. Rockets coming in, and phase shift. There it is. And that's what you'll find a lot, ladies and gents, that Reaper setups or Crisis Reapers have. Oh, but also very interesting, they often have phase shift and they use it when the rockets come in. You really can't fight them. But interesting is, when they have enter stealth, right, your rockets lose the targeting. However, when they fire again and you look at them, I'm not sure if you need to look at them for that, but if they fire again, the rockets will resume targeting and they will come back in on him. So that happened right here, and that's why I was able to hit him. But of course, this Reaper is not just a Reaper Creeper with phase shift, he also has a yellow shield going on for some whatever reason, and that yellow shield just ate up all the damage. That would have been a great opportunity to hit him really well. Yeah, so after his shot, he goes into stealth, and because he's at long range, my missiles can't even hit him, right? And if my missiles would hit him, he just triggers the phase shift button. So, not sure if we did some damage there. But, yeah, he understands that I'm targeting him, and he's gonna understand that now and target me. Immediately as he fires, I fire too. That means this time my rockets come in at the right time, and I would fully hit this guy, but he's just gonna enter phase shift. Boop. All the damage that I would have done goes into nowhere. And now he enters stealth again. My rockets don't make it. Actually, they're coming in a little bit on him, but as soon as the rocket hit him, he has another yellow shield. It's like, I don't know, as soon as there's damage coming in, the yellow shield is ready. Whatever. So there's no point actually in trying to shoot a Reaper Creeper when they have phase shift and when they're careful. But when they're not careful and they don't have phase shift, then you can really drop them really well. There's a Typhon over there, and brrrp, nice double kill. Good thing. Spreading my happiness everywhere again. So the Harpy is gonna land, and I think then it was almost near the end of this match. We have another one for you, because I think you haven't seen all the setups yet. Rip. Sweet damage, nice. Triple kill, and the Harpy goes down. Bye-bye. So what do you think, ladies and gents, about, you know, about the Hurricane? We're running 4 of them right here on a Typhon. And it's not like we're carrying the match now, I think. To me, it seems like Hurricane is going to be annoying, yeah? Especially when somebody decides to take you out. It's gonna be annoying. He's phase shifting, shwoop, no damage. But it's not gonna be enough I think, to really be very game-breaking and dangerous. I think for that, it's not enough. Here, he came over here, I hit him really well, and I almost dropped him, but you see, I've done 3.1 million damage in this match. And him, for example, with the Reaper Creeper did 5.6. And despite me trying to keep him a little bit in bay, making him a little more careful and such, but he still does like twice the amount of damage, you see? So, definitely not a setup that breaks the game, I would say. Especially not compared to something like a Reaper Creeper. But if you single enemies out, you can still ruin their day so much with this. So there's still this potential to really ruin players and break the game for them. But in the grand scheme of things, to me, I think personally, from what I've seen here, it doesn't seem so much that it's gonna be the worst thing that happened to the game. It's just a more up-to-date version, basically, of the old Hydra setups, I think. Because remember, back in the days, you could do the same thing with Hydras. You could definitely single somebody out and really ruin his day. And basically make it impossible for him to perform on the map. But, you know, overall damage output was still low enough to never really carry the match or impact the match in a something meaningful manner. So, I think it's very similar with this. And in that regard, I got it. I personally will say, good job, Pixonic, not bringing this thing in as game-breaking as it was on the live server. No, test server, sorry. But it looks pretty awesome if you fly in with the Ophion like this and you send those flying homing flight bullets, rockets there. It really looks cool. And also the damage output when you score a full hit with all your rockets, it's not bad. And even if you get caught in short range, you can defend yourself because the direct fire allows you to fire, unlike Norikoms that are 100% worthless. Also something I'm still going to criticize because I think they could just remake the Norikoms a little bit instead of releasing a weapon that completely replaces Norikoms. The Norikoms still have something going for them that these weapons don't. It's the fact that you have no targeting. It's the fact that they land where you shoot no matter what. And they have splash damage, so you can put Explosive Expert on them and even bypass shields sometimes. And you can hit multiple people at once. And when somebody like a Crisis Robot enters stealth because he's just standing there and stealth triggers, but you fired before, you're still gonna hit him because your Norikoms will come in at that exact spot no matter what, and they will have their splash damage ready for him. And you will do a lot of damage with 4 max Norikoms also. There are ridiculous weaknesses on the weapon that need to be addressed and fixed, such as the ridiculous amount of reload time you're gonna have. The reload time is way too long for the damage they do. But other than that, there is a reason to exist for Norikoms as well. And the thing is though, you can't even direct fire at somebody because the weapon will not fire at anything under 300 meters range. It will just completely miss the targets. So I think since there is a reason for Norikoms to exist, it would be great if Pixonic could buff the reload speed so much on Norikoms and allow the weapon to target directly like this one here does when enemies get close. Or alternatively, it just will not care about how close somebody is. You'll always fire high and low, right? You will always fire like a mortar. Just fire up in the air and hit the enemy thing. And the closer they are, the faster the rockets will arrive at him because they don't have to travel so far, right? Although you could argue that no matter how close the enemy is, it will still take a little while because they go up. Bye! That was a good flight, dude! You know, I can't even count how often this happened to me, so I can't even say, you noob! I can't even say it because I did the same thing. So often this, you underestimate how small this landing pad is here on the side. And oh man. Yeah, so in any case, ladies and gentlemen, Norikoms, please buff them back. Give them a chance to shoot at short range as well, and bring them in for the reload, because then this will still be more interesting, but the Norikoms at least have a reason to exist. For example, to counter Reapers, Reaper Crisis. Other than that, I think it's great that you brought in the Hurricane in a not completely break-in manner. I mean, I had to fire at Feldmarschall for like 10 times to get him, right? So it seems okay to me. Other weapons would have done that too, even at the same range. So, yeah. But what do you think? Let me know. And also, the skin, Quicksand Ophion, looks really amazing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for being with me. You guys are awesome as always. And catch you in the next video with the Reaper Creeper in retro version. And of course, the Newton Titan that will again break things quite a bit.